Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Tribute Store at Universal Studios in Florida. The Tribute Store pretty much offers a lot of the fun special merchandise that you can get representative of their haunted houses and general Halloween Horror Nights fun. Speaking of fun, they do have this excellent entrance here with a ticket booth, very circusy themed, which might be a little bit reminiscent of the Killer Clowns haunted house that they had, but first thing that you see when you walk in the doors is the Ghostbusters Room. Obviously, the main attraction here is Slimer, hovering over his refrigerator full of food that we know he loves to eat. The atmosphere inside the Tribute Store is amazing. Last year, when you walked in, it was a Stranger Things experience. So it's nice that they didn't go for that right away, even though it is such a prominent part of Halloween Horror Nights now. But we just saw that containment unit for the ghosts. Aside from all of the fun sort of Ghostbusters theming, they do actually sell some merchandise, obviously. We've got some Ghostbusters shirts and some general well, look at that. Sorry to interrupt, but we've got Tom wearing a mask, and that is better than anything that you're going to find on the shelves. So, you could be the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man for Halloween if you like. Or if that's not your thing, you could just wear a headband with some devil ears or whatnot. Or you could be a clown. Or what other masks they might have here. There's a Slimer down there. The clown, of course, is from the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. There's a Frankenstein from the Universal Monster Collection. And here is Tom modeling the Slimer mask, or headdress as it might be. But as we take a look around the room, here you've got the Ghostbusters outfits, the jumpsuits. The second one there is covered in the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. If you had looked closely above it were the, whatever they are, the little guns that they use to shoot. I have not seen Ghostbusters since I was a kid, so I don't really remember. But the haunted house that they have here at Universal Studios was pretty amazing. So we just kind of wander around. You see, the room is not that big, but they do have several small displays of merchandise. You can buy hats, and it's not all Ghostbusters themed in this room, of course. There was the House of a Thousand Corpses shirt, which was a haunted house as well. I've not seen that movie, but people here seem to have loved it, and it was a very good haunted house. They do have the sweatshirts because, you know, Florida gets a little chilly almost never in August, which is when, or September, I should say, I'm sorry. Disney starts their Halloween festivities in August, but at least Universal gives it another month before they start. Maybe that's to create all of this merchandise. What are you gonna call? So we've got some mugs. There's a little, I guess that's a Slimer plush, not really sure. There is a shirt from the movie Us. There was an Us haunted house as well, which I think was the least effective haunted house. I did not think it was scary or even interesting at all. Here is, I guess, some sort of logbook from what is supposed to be, you know, the desk. I guess this room is supposed to be reminiscent of the firehouse in the Ghostbusters movie where they set up shop. Speaking of shop, you can shop, buy some backpacks or some lanyards or some phone covers or keychains and lots of fun Ghostbusters designs. I guess that shirt's supposed to be one of those jumpsuits. That looks pretty cool. Even as we look around, you know, they've done such a good job with the theming. It really does look like the firehouse, and they've got little props stacked around give it the extra atmosphere. And here we have some popcorn, because this is a little display of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space merchandise. Tom hated this haunted house. I thought it was a pretty good one. But here's a bulletin board full of just little Easter eggs and things, so if you had plenty of time, or even if you just paused the video, you could probably see how these connect to the movie. Again, I haven't seen it in so long, I really wouldn't know. But here we can see a portal that's going to move us into the Stranger Things room, because Universal couldn't leave them out. It's just too popular of a series and a big draw. I don't really know what these things are called. Something dogs. Sorry, I'm not a rabid Stranger Things fan, but they do have, again, a good display here in the Stranger Things room. The line for the Stranger Things haunted house was always the longest. This was a guy that I think was in the center display last year in the Stranger Things room, and they had sort of like a snow effect, because when you watch the movie, there's like all these little, it kind of looks like snow, some sort of like floating debris in the room, or in the movie, in the upside down world. And they actually had that in the shop. It was really quite amazing. As you can see, we've got some spillover Ghostbusters merchandise. You're going to see, again, merchandise from all the licensing opportunities in all of the rooms here, not just the main theme of the room. And unfortunately, a lot of the merchandise just keeps repeating. You'll see the same things on shelves everywhere. But this one is going to focus on a lot of the 80s things. So you see the Atari and the Centipede and Asteroids t-shirts. And look, a new Coke display. It's just kind of fun how they slip the 80s references in wherever they can. Some keychains and wearables and backpacks. And this room was kind of nice looking. Oh, here's just this, like a little mini poster of the scare zones. I'm not sure why anybody would want to buy that, but I think there was another one with the haunted houses on it. If you want to check out the scare zones, check out my other videos. I did walkthroughs of all of them, but they don't let you film the haunted houses here at Universal Studios, which is unfortunate. But oh, there was a list of them right there, I think. So the licensed ones, I think, there were Stranger Things, Killer Clowns, Ghostbusters, Us, House of a Thousand Corpses. I think that might have been it. Love the little camp shirt there. The others were just sort of haunted houses that they built on their own. One of which was like a Roman gladiator theme. There was a Yukon Yeti themed one. One was kind of like an underwater haunted house. That was pretty neat. And there were two more. If they come to me, I'll let you know. Oh, one was a graveyard theme. And then there is just one left. That is eluding me at the moment. As we take a look around, you can see all of the fun merchandise again. All very 80s themes. And look, for quintessential 80s, you're going to see here in a moment the VHS tapes. Yeah, not really for sale, just there for atmosphere. That's why I really love the Tribute Store. It's amazing. And the other haunted house was the Universal Monsters. I'm surprised I forgot that one. It was actually one of my favorite haunted houses. You go through all the various scenes with, like a creature from the Black Lagoon, I think it was, or some sort. There was Dracula, the Mummy, Frankenstein, even they had Quasimodo in there, from the Hunchback. And my favorite, the Phantom of the Opera. They even had an amazing scene with the chandelier crash. And I had actually been contemplating working that scene into my own haunt this year. So I got some good inspiration from that haunted house this year. But I was a little disappointed to see that they stole it first from me. I'm sure they knew what I was thinking. But anyway, they did a really good job with that haunted house. Lots of glow things that you can buy. I didn't really see a lot of those in the park, so I'm not sure how popular they were. But we were there on opening week. And as we move through, there is one more room to see. I think last year there were only 2 different rooms, and if I recall, they might have both been Stranger Things themed. But this third room is, I guess, their take on the Universal monsters. It's kind of a laboratory setting. The atmosphere is fantastic. Lots of skeletons, lots of sort of bubbling equipment. There are the monsters that we see right there. And it just kind of feels like you're in an old laboratory or some creepy old castle somewhere. Again, skulls and jars and displays. Very nice, nicely done. As you can see, I'm more enamored with the atmosphere of the tribute store more than the merchandise itself. So even they've got these bookcases that kind of look like they could have been in some sort of old castle or mansion, and then they decorate the tops of them pretty well. Here we've got some good monster merchandise. A lot of Frankenstein, things shaped as coffins. There's a wolf man. There's that mask we saw earlier too. Hats. I think this room kind of has the more neat items. As you can see, I'm kind of lingering on this bookcase. As we move around, you do have some general merchandise like that available after midnight. And these skulls, I'm not sure if these ones are for sale. They might just be display, but they do have skulls for sale throughout the room. And they had price tags on them that were pretty hefty. That is awesome. Sort of zombie skull. I think all that stuff was for sale. You could see the tiny little price tags. They don't want to shock you by putting it in big letters. But I love the display cases. There's an Academy of Villains shirt. Now, the Academy of Villains puts on a show. This year, it was Jekyll and Hyde themed. It's a kind of very high-energy dancing show. I think we put out a video on it last year. Probably won't do that this year, but be sure to check out our video from last year if you're interested in seeing that. I think they only really had one other show here at Halloween Horror Nights. It was kind of a water display where they shoot water, sort of water screens, and then they project kind of the Universal monsters on them this year. It was pretty neat. We have a blinking skull. They sold those last year. They were very popular. They sold them all around the park. I think the stuff that they're selling now is probably just leftovers because I don't really think they were using them this year in the park. I could be wrong about that though. Lots of clothing. These little posters are kind of neat. Great for decorating your house at Halloween. You frame those, put them up. There's that skull. It's back. Only $5. I'm sure last year it was much more than $5. I mean, look at that tumbler or whatever. It's like $18. That's crazy. Anyway, as we make our way around, check out this. Not sure what this is from, but we have this creepy, sort of zombie-esque creature inside this tank of water. Not really sure what that's all about, but it's very atmospheric and I love it. Blinking light, of course. Buy those bulbs anywhere. Not here, but anywhere else. That it's a little coffin display. Not sure what all this stuff is, but more blinking things for your amusement. And of course, a skull display. All these again for sale. They had them all around, all different designs. Very, very neat. And then you can buy some t-shirts. A lot of different designs available. And they have a t-shirt printing area, which we'll see here right there to the right. So you can pick whatever design you want on the computer screen, and they will just print it right there for you. They had that last year as well. And they even have a little concession area. Not only can you buy the drinks, but you can buy the Halloween-themed desserts that are fantastic looking. I mean, just look at that skull there in the bottom. Very nice. Of course, more skulls. These are real and for sale. Well, not real skulls, but not edible, I should say. But that will do it for that room and the tribute store in general. So we're just going to make our way out. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check out the rest of my channel for other Halloween videos. Take care, guys, and happy haunting.